Hey there, everybody. The seeding update is live for cattle and crops, so I thought I would give that a go and just give my initial impressions of the game as well while that is being done. So, as you can see, we are doing this mission thing. We're gonna start the tractor. It's got an IC, which you hold by control. Okay, and I have manual starting on. There we go. Now we just need to back up. I do have an initial complaint where I cannot seem to find how to get my steering wheel to work. It just does not seem to work correctly. It doesn't really set up, and I don't understand what's wrong, why it can't set up. It's like it doesn't recognize a steering wheel. For example, when I go to hit the accelerate, when I try to bind the throttle to the accelerate key, it shows up as the y-axis, but then when I try to bind the brake and I press the brake pedal, it says it's the y-axis and it deletes the function that I had to accelerate. So it doesn't really seem to support gamepads or steering wheels yet, but hopefully that will change soon. I would fully expect it to. I really hope it does, because I am a 4-year gold backer of this game. When I purchased it, I had full faith in the game that it would... Okay, I need to fill this up. How do I fill it? I don't see the button for filling. Whoops. Whoops. Don't want to detach. What? Oh, maybe... Oh, there we go. Well, it's kind of off the screen a little bit. Fill type maize kernel. That's what I want. Let's fill it up all the way. There we go. There we go. That's what we needed. Okay, so now, drive to the field. I am really hoping that when they release this game, the full map has much larger fields. I know this is just a test map. I understand the value of a test map. I mean, I even made and developed my own test map based off of the idea that Dural had for his own MR test map for... You know, it's a lot easier when all the triggers and everything's close by and the fields are smaller. It really helps you test things a lot quicker. So I do understand that. But, you know, these fields are really, really small. It's like, look at how small that is. It's like it's almost not even worth... I can't work this field. What does that mean? I drove to the right field. Am I even seeding? Do I need to... Well, it shows up as a different texture, but I don't... Okay, so I guess you don't have to... Oh, that's kind of weird. It certainly looks like an air seeder, but you don't have to turn on the air. There's no option to turn on the implement. Well, that's fine. Okay, we're just going to plant some end rows here. And this field's so small, you basically don't even need end rows. It's kind of not really worth doing. And why can't I go backwards? Well, we'll just do a full turn here. The animations on the seeder, did I not raise the seeder? I did. It kind of has, well, that's kind of weird. So there's obviously a few bugs to work out here, but you know what? I don't think we need to plant end rows. Let's just do a turn here. And one thing I don't like about this game is, okay, so I guess this field is a little bit too, you know, it does show it a little bit wet, but if you are making tracks in a field this deep, it is way too muddy and you should never be in the field. I mean, I know they want to show off their deformable terrain, but that's a little bit way too much in my opinion. If you're making tracks that deep, you should never be in the field. I mean, unless it's like you're going to lose an entire crop and it's been a really muddy season, but that is really, really muddy. I don't know if I like that. I mean, look at how deep those are. That's a really muddy thing. I do like how it looks like the individual... I don't know if that's a random animation or not, but that box animation looks realistic, where the boxes are moving like they do in real life. So that's nice. That is nice. I like this. And, you know, the black and gold, that looks pretty cool. I assume Hammer's a real brand. I think they talk a little bit about that. Since they lost Horsch, they had to go back and get another brand, which, I don't know. That probably delayed the development a little bit. It kind of really is a... And I understand it's just business, but that's kind of a mean thing for Horsch to do, where they say that... I mean, I obviously don't know what type of contract or agreement Cattle and Crops had with Horsch, but it's kind of rotten that they took it away after they spent time developing all these models, you know? I don't know. So it looks like I'm not really sure if you can do end rows, because it looks like the front of the seeder there deletes the field texture where I had already sowed. So let's take a look here. You can see when I lower, yeah, see, it kind of deletes the field texture there that I already sowed, which kind of stinks if you're in a tight space and you wanted to plant some end rows first. So that's kind of bad. Did we have a marker button? I don't see a button for the marker. That's kind of also I'm sure they'll have markers there eventually. Is it over here in this IC control panel? Was that toggle 4-wheel drive? Oh yeah, we definitely want 4-wheel drive. I'm not sure how to work any of these buttons. I thought you just hit it. No? I don't know. Oh. Do I need to go down? That's it. No? Oh, maybe not. What is this? Toggle pen attacher down. So, oh, there we go. Is this the marker? Support foot? What's this? What is that? Hammer, corn, king, seed unit. Toggle ridge markers. Oh, there we go. Is that it? That's beautiful. And that toggles the side. Okay. And what is this one? It's the speed. Oh, is that the height of the seeder? So can you change the planting depth? That, I don't know what that is. It doesn't show anything when I hover over it. But that's actually really promising if you can change the depth of the seed. I do like that. So do I have to press another button there to get that to work? I don't know. Let's drive from inside the cab here. Alright. You can kind of still hear that clicking of the... I don't know why that is. I don't know if that's a setting on my speakers. It definitely doesn't do that when I... Okay, so how do I toggle the side? There we go. It definitely doesn't do that when I'm in any other game, so I wonder why that is. So, another downside is it doesn't look like... Do I need to change... Oh, is that the depth of the ridge marker? No. Maybe not. In real life, on real seeders, you can adjust the depth of the ridge marker. It's a button that you turn on and off. Or not a button. What am I saying? It is a... Well, on our planter, for example, it's a bolt that you adjust. Okay, let's put up the ridge marker. Hardly need ridge markers on this little field. Oops, I missed a spot while I was trying to hit a button there. I did... So the graphics are on Ultra, and the graphics are great. Yeah, the graphics are pretty good, but, you know, it's really that field texture really bothers me, actually. I mean, if you're planting in this field, there's no way. That's a deep rut. There's no way you'd be in the field. Very, very rarely would you be in the field when you have a rut that deep. And actually, I mean, if you're making a rut that deep, it's actually kind of surprising that the tractor isn't getting stuck. Because that's pretty bad. So let's figure out, why can't I toggle 4-wheel drive? It does not seem to want to work. And this tractor seems a little bit underpowered for this big seeder. But I wonder if that's something where I'm not turning four-wheel drive on and I'm just not understanding something. I don't know. For being a PC game, you know, this is one of my biggest complaints of Farming Simulator, the dust animation. Now, granted, if you were driving in a muddy field, like it looks like, based on how deep the tire tracks are, you're not going to see any dust. But one of my biggest complaints of Farming Simulator is the dust animations just seem so fake. And I would love to have a little bit more dust trailing behind the equipment and implements. And it's kind of a shame that they don't do that since it's a PC game. You know, they're making this for the PC, supposedly. So it's not like they have to cater to consoles. I would love to see more dust particles, but doesn't look like that is an option at the moment, unfortunately. Well, yeah, that kind of stinks. I really hope the real map has some bigger fields, because these fields they're just a little bit too small. I will have to say that it feels really realistic with the driving speed. Like, where's my speed at? I don't even see my speedometer. Whoops. I got a little off track there. So I'm going 6, what is that, kilometers per hour? So that's actually even a little bit too slow for a seeding. But I think it's because this tractor is a little bit underpowered for this seeder. I think the seeding, the speed limit would be a little bit higher if the tractor was a little bit more powered. You should probably be able to go faster on it. But it does feel real. That's one of my first impressions. It feels like the more realistic mod that Durl has made, and I'm not I'm not sure if that's more of a compliment to Durl and how awesome of a mod that he has made, or if it's a compliment to these guys and how realistic of a game that they have been able to make. Probably a little of both. But man, that's just way too deep of a rut. I don't like that. Again, unless you see some water spots out there in the field, so maybe they're trying to say that this field is a little bit too muddy to be seeding. But then again, why are they picking a mission on a field that's wet? I don't know. I don't know about that. But as far as how the tractors drive, it feels just like the more realistic mod. I am really happy about that. But like I said, I'm not happy that, you know, from how I understand the game works, you're not going to be able to change your fields or combine fields. It's kind of a static field size. You can't plow up new texture. And that's how Farm Expert was. And frankly, I don't like that at all. This whole deformation thing is great. I'm happy about that. But honestly, if they would just make the game a little bit deeper and have things like, for example, it looks like, so they might do this. I don't know what these adjustments are. So if that controls depth of the seeder and that actually matters, that's pretty cool, because that's part of the adjustments you have to make in real life. And if they do anything like that, that would be awesome. I would love a game to have a little bit more depth like that, but I don't know. They seem to just want to make simple games so that everybody can play. But then again, that's part of the selling feature of this game, where they make it realistic, right? Am I on... You know what? I had automatic transmission selected, but maybe... Yeah, I'm on automatic transmission. So why am I not gas limiter? Do I want a gas limiter? I don't think I want gas limiter. I don't know. Why aren't I accelerating? If I'm on automatic transmission... Let's test that out real quick. So what are controls? We have use. Maybe, you know what? Let's go inside the cab. Maybe there's something inside the cab. Nope. Whoops. I thought that was a button to press. Transmission. That's wiper. Okay, that's the steering pedal. What's that? Okay, that's height adjust. Okay, let's put the column back. I don't see a... Well, this, you know, if it's realistic, I believe this has the CVT anyway, so I shouldn't have to adjust the transmission anyway. So maybe this thing is really just that hard to pull. I don't know. We drove past the field we were supposed to stop at, but I think that I'll probably stop this little intro and video at this point. I have basically said all my initial thoughts on this game and this tutorial, so there's not much left to say. If you guys want to see more of these videos, be sure to let me know. If you would rather just have me spend more time on Farming Simulator, let me know that as well. And until next time, I will probably, when this game releases, since I invested quite a bit of money in it, I probably will do some type of Let's Play on it, or, you know, something like that. But I'll probably do that instead of the Farming Simulator Gold DLC, because I don't see myself buying the Gold DLC. It's not worth it to me. There's no incentive for me to buy the Gold DLC. Not with all the awesome mod maps we have coming out. I have zero interest in playing in South America. I mean, actually, is this South America? I forget now. I would if you could make a lot of that map and equipment, you know, modded and more realistic mod as well. I know Daryl has made some of the premium DLC. He's like the Coon Pack. He's made that more realistic, but it is a little bit harder to do since you can't actually get in and see the model itself. The model's all locked up, and it just makes things a lot harder. And you also can't, you know, take any of the buildings from that map, for example, or the terrain or the textures. You can't use any of that to create a new mod map. And based on how, I don't want to say, by comparison, the default Giants maps are not good compared to mod maps, especially after I've been playing on the likes of the West Coast. I don't see how I can jump from something like that to the default Giants map. So anyway, I probably won't be doing any of that DLC or even buying it. I'm just gonna, you know, I'll probably do a Let's Play on this. Did I leave the blinker on there? The wiper, yeah, I left the wiper on. I thought I saw something moving. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you have a good weekend. Bye-bye.